Modern women have lost their archetypal story, and that is the one of Beauty and the Beast. That for women, their comparative to our hero journey is the story of finding the monster and then taming him for good. They don't want the simpy nice guy, which sucks as a former nice guy myself. That would be so fucking easy if you were just able to nice your way into love. But unfortunately, that's not how it works. And women kind of need to have the monster. And the issue is, men are no longer monstrous at all. And you might be looking at this being like, well, why would I want to be a monster? That sounds terrible. I think we have a misconception of what the word monster is. And Jordan Peterson has an awesome summary for this, where you want to be the strongest guy at your father's funeral, and that is a kind of monstrosity. To be able to be in the darkest hellhole for your family and stand up against all the mess around you and be able to be that shining light, that beacon in the darkness, that is a kind of monster. And that's what we sorely miss today. And women are feeling it because that was always part of their natural journey, and they're missing out because men are now heavily sedated and they don't have anything to them. I don't envy women on how they've got to select guys, because they have to walk such a tightrope. And I think this is where a lot of the confusion that men find of, oh, I don't know what she wants this, she wants that, if only I could read their mind, all that kind of thing. It's because of this tightrope that women want someone who is monstrous enough to be able to keep the other monsters at bay. He needs to be strong enough to fight away anyone that could come near them, but also not too monstrous enough that he won't provide and care for her and their offspring. So it's such a fine line to hit, that she needs someone that isn't just going to be a pushover, that as soon as someone else comes to town, they just steal all of their resources because he can't stand up for himself. He needs to have that backbone. And this is where a lot of the trouble in dating is for girls, that they're really struggling because they have these two opposing, conflicting interests. And this narrative of taming the beast was always the natural progression for it, of finding someone that is a bit rough around the edges, and then through compassion and emotion, they tame him into someone that's useful for society. This is why Beauty and the Beast is that archetypal story, and it just played out the exact same in Twilight. It's like, find the monstrous man that is highly desirable, that she can't seem to lock down, and then she finds a way to tame him and make him good for the common people. That is what every single girl wants to experience. She wants to find that slightly untamed man that has potential and power and something to offer the world, but help guide it in a way that is beneficial to her and to the community around her. And you can see this in all the types of content that girls watch. They're obsessed with these kind of psychopath documentaries, and what is it, You, that series on Netflix, which just follows a Ted Bundy-esque type character around whilst he is a psychopath, and he has all these darker sides. And that's what they're called towards, because they know if they are the one that's able to sort of bring them into the light, that's the fully unified man. He has his darkness, and he has his darkness and he has his lightness integrated together to make the whole. There's a line that, in order for a tree to reach heaven, its roots have to be dug down to hell. And we can't achieve the highest amount of good if we don't have our roots in hell. And the more and more we progress down this road of hammering into men that we need to be super nice, super cordial all the time and not have any kind of edge, the more society will start to degenerate. And I don't want to advocate for like the hyper masculine other side. I'm not some Andrew Tate acolyte. I'm putting that out there. And what instead is a return to a traditional masculinity, that man that can hold things together at the darkest hour, when it is his father's funeral, when tradition has started to die, he's able to wade into the darkness and pull out of it and extract all the meaning to then continue forward through society with his family and with his community. Women are crying out to be able to have that journey again, and that's why they aren't happy right now. They want to have that journey of finding the man out there in the wilderness that can be tamed and can be used for good. And right now, there's none of them to be found.